Hello, everybody. I'm Zach Hall, and today here with me are these guys. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, I'm Kevin Yook.
Hello, I'm Bryan Oczkus.
And today we're going to be doing an investigation. And today we're going to be doing an investigation on the violent effects of video games on people. Enjoy. We began our project with a simple question. Why is there more violence in United States gamers than in Asian gamers? Over time, however, we realized that the correlation between violent games and the people who play them are fairly low.
So we find our question to wonder why people think that violent games are making people aggressive, and we found a lot of evidence to support that claim. In an article that compares video game addiction, in 2010, two couples neglected to feed their baby because they were playing a popular online game. And this 60-minute investigation shows a case study arguing that video games are making people violent. In one case, Devin Moore, 18 years old, murdered 3 police officers in a style similar to the game Grand Theft Auto. Moore had no previous record of crime, but had played Grand Theft Auto for many hours. When interviewed about his crime, he said, "Life is like a video game. Everybody's gonna die sometimes."
Later, 1, start.
People always say that video games have become more violent in recent years, and one of the main reasons for this assumption is the level of realism able to be portrayed in the games. The same shoot everything that moves or beat 'em up concepts that were popular yesterday are still alive today, but are also able to be portrayed in stunning, horrifying realism, which many claim leads to desensitization. The concern about violence got so bad that Governor Schwarzenegger proposed regulations on the game industry that would ban sales of violent games to minors.
Hello, we're back. As you can see in the previous videos, there is very convincing evidence that video games cause violence.
Thank you, Kevin. However, after doing some investigations, we found evidence that made our claim hard to believe. Here's Bryan, who interviewed Dr. Ann Pincus. Bryan?
After consulting clinical psychologist Dr. Ann Pincus, we concluded that violent video games may not influence behavior as much as we thought. She did not notice any correlation between video games and violence in her patients. She says, "It is not actually the video games or the TV, but a combination of what's in everyday life, and that the change caused by video games is much more subtle." There was a study that was conducted that showed after 30 minutes of casual gaming, users of video games increased their cognitive thinking by 85% and their executive thinking by 215%. In a study published by Nature magazine, 11,430 participants were asked to complete a 6-week course of brain training games. The results of the study showed the experimental groups improved at the same rate as the control group.
In a recent copy of the Mirador, we learned that Governor Schwarzenegger's proposed law banning the sale of violent video games to minors has been challenged by the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals on the grounds that it violates constitutional rights. Despite the articles and the interview, we were still not sure that video games cause aggression in people.
That's why we surveyed people using Google Docs over the internet and Miramani High School.
We decided to ask the people.
Speaking of asking people, we asked them their age. We asked them whether they were under 17, 18 to 20, or 21 and up.
We chose the age 17 because that is the minimum age for M-required games. 18 and 20 refers to the years between M rating and the age of full brain growth.
And our result showed that 84% of those who were polled were under the age of 21. This shows that mentally developed adults are not playing these games.
Our next question asked volunteers whether they play games, but why they play games. They were asked to select the options for fun, for relaxation, because my friends do it, and other.
We selected these options for this question because we want to know a general idea of why people do games.
68% of people played games for fun, while an additional 16% played for relaxation. This means most of the people are playing games for enjoyment, not to ease their pain.
For our next question, we wanted to know what genre gamers played.
We want to see whether the most popular video games were first-person shooters.
And our results seem to reflect our hypothesis that people preferred first-person shooting games.
In our survey, we began to question volunteers on the emotional impact that games had on them. We asked them whether they felt stressed, relaxed, excited, angry, or other.
These questions were asked to give evidence for or against our thesis.
And our result is 39% felt relaxed after playing games, 36% said excited, while 2% said angry and stressful. This contradicts our thesis statement.
We also asked them if video games make them more aggressive in their tendencies.
This was to test our original hypothesis.
Our survey result did not indicate any clear correlation between aggressiveness while doing video games.
While we recognize that correlation is not causation, we see that our thesis was insufficiently supported. However, we cannot dismiss the evidence that video games influence aggressive behavior. End scene.
Okay, I think that was the best one.
That's good. But wait, there's more! Obviously, we didn't have a lot of time to spare when working on this assignment, so we left a lot of unexplored possibilities. If we had a bit more time, we could have implemented some of the following things.
We're thinking of surveying players from Korea and Japan to broaden our cultural perspectives.
We could have gone to MMORPG players and interviewed them during their play.
We could have called game companies and asked for their opinions.
We could have more screens in our filming room.
We could have interviewed lawyers and done a case study on a recent video game violence-related case.
Yes, we could have done all of those things, but we just did not have the time. So thank you for watching, though, and have a very nice day. Remember, the possibilities are endless.